Hi guys, good morning. For today's video, I am probably going to film the laziest form of YouTube content there is, a Q&A kind of story time video, alright? I know I filmed one of these like literally last video, okay? So I'm really sorry, genuinely. I was planning on filming like a, day in my life vlog or whatever, like what I usually do. But I was not in the mood to do anything worth vlogging. Okay, but for next video, don't worry, I'm going back to my good old day in my life vlogs. We'll do something fun together. But for today's video, you guys actually had quite a lot of questions about this topic, and I've gotten some messages on Instagram and stuff asking me about this. And I did actually film answering these questions in my last video, but I couldn't fit it into one video. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make a whole separate video regarding this because I've got a lot to say. All right? For today's video, I'm going to be discussing my high school experience. My experience with high school. For those of you who don't know me, I graduated like last year, like a couple of months ago. So I'm like only fresh out of school. But I also hated school. I literally dreaded every single waking moment of school. The first question was, how did you survive year 11 and 12? I think one of the only reasons I survived high school was because I didn't let it take up every single second of every single hour of my day. Like, when teachers expect you to come home and then do 3 hours of homework after like a full day of school. No offense, I have like a life. Like, sorry, like, in what universe would I come home from 6 hours of school? Like, if you can't teach me what I need to know in the 6 hours that I'm there, that's your fault, not mine. The other reason that I survived was YouTube. Literally, I actually don't know what I would have done without you guys, like, in year 11 and 12. Like, you guys were like my best friends. That got a bit sad, but because like I'd come home and I'd film YouTube videos and like have fun, and then I'd be like editing them in classes, and so YouTube, definitely YouTube. I reckon just have fun, like fuck it, like sorry, I'm gonna be honest. I was kind of naughty all through school. Well, I mean, I wasn't naughty. I was just like, I wasn't a bitch to the teachers. That's sort of where I draw the line. Like, teachers love me. Majority of the teachers love me. I just never got caught when I was doing it. Okay, I think I need to tell you guys because I actually had so much, like, fun. Like, I'm not just talking about, like, cheating on a test. Alright, I'm talking about, like, I pushed a fire alarm button and the whole building got evacuated onto the Oval. I'm talking about how I literally climbed inside the roof. Like, I was doing some whack shit. Let's get right into it. Story time. Which one do I feel like I've told you guys the fire alarm one before, except I'm just going to tell you again, alright? There's more of you now. I'm getting into it, okay? We've got a maths exam today. My friends and I are all standing outside of my classroom. We're talking about the exam. This may come as a surprise to you, but I did not study. I had not studied for this exam. I was not ready. I was bad at maths. It was my worst subject. So I was not too keen to, do this exam. As a sort of joke, I was like, oh, if I push the fire alarm button, the maths exam will probably be cancelled. And I'm not one to succumb to peer pressure, alright? But let me tell you, I have been fighting the urge not to push one of those buttons since the day that I could walk. It's like those big like red buttons, and it's like, do not push. Like, literally every single time I see one of those buttons, I have to fight the urge not to push it, okay? It's like the one that you have to break the glass on, except this button that we were standing next to, the glass was not there. It was just the button. So it was almost too easy. It was almost like wanting to be pushed. Whatever, time passes, my friends go up to their classroom, and I'm just left standing, staring at this button, having a literal mental battle with myself, trying to, convince myself that this is a bad idea. Anyway, I push the button. Nothing happens. Literally nothing happens, so I'm like, oh, that was really anticlimactic. Must be broken, the glass isn't on it, must have already been activated. That's boring. Push it again. Alarms start going off. Both of the fire exit doors, like on both sides, slam shut, slam shut. Everyone in the whole corridor, the whole hallway, turns and looks at me. I'm just standing there with my finger on this button. This is when my body enters fight or flight mode. I start running, sprinting, legging it down the hallway. My friends hear the alarms and they're like, oh my fucking God, she's pushed the button. So they turn around on the stairs to come down and they just see me zoom past. Like, I'm out of there. I'm running down like the spiral stairs. I'm fucking gone. I get out of the building and I can just hear the alarms, like, so loud. Like, it wasn't just like a little alarm. Like, it was the alarms were going. So this is when I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do? Everyone just saw you push this button. How are we gonna deal with this logically? What's gonna happen? Sure enough, everyone starts exiting the building. The teachers have got everyone in like the single file. All the teachers were panicking because they thought it was real. You know when like there's a fire or lockdown drill and like the teachers get notified, but so that they know it's a drill. The teachers thought that there was a fire in the building. So they're like, come on, like everyone get out. And I'm like, oh my God. I see my teacher walking my class like outside the building. I'm like, okay, here we go, Emma. I walk up to him. I'm like, sir, what's going on? Like, is everything okay? Like, why are the alarms going off? He's like, yeah, like, we think there's a fire. The alarms just started going off. We're just all going to go down to the Oval. It's all okay. So I'm like, this is perfect. It's like, I have played this perfectly. For all he knows, I haven't even been in the building yet. Well, my whole grade, my whole cohort is sitting on the Oval. All the teachers got their clipboards, you know, they're marking the roles. And people start to talk. I'm like hearing people go like, Emma pushed the button. It was Emma. Emma, did you push the button? Like, oh my God, like people were talking, okay? So this is when I was sort of like, like, I really hope teachers, you know, don't get a hot hang of this news. So, principal comes down, he's got his microphone thing, and he's like, guys, like, there's not a fire. Someone has pushed one of the fire alarm buttons. And we're gonna find out who it is. Everyone pivots and just starts staring at me. It gets worse. We go back into the classroom and my teacher's like, guys, I know it was someone in this room because the fire alarm button is right outside our room. So it's someone here. So they had literally narrowed it down to my class of like 25 people and they're like, it's someone in here. They're like, we're gonna check the security cameras, we're gonna find out who this is. I knew that there wasn't any security cameras in this building. It's like the oldest building in the school. So I was like, when they said they were checking the security cameras, I was like, you're bullshitting. Like, there's no security cameras. Like, so I was sort of like, I was willing to, you know, call bluff. But the thing that I was worried about was the fact that every single student in the whole grade had just watched me push the button, and I was like, someone's gonna snitch. Someone's gonna snitch. Like, then he goes, boys at the back, I'm looking at you. I wasn't even on the suspect list. I was like, wow, this is great. No one got in trouble. They never found out who it was. I was really proud that no one snitched on me. And I think it was just a mutual respect that I had just saved them all from having to do a maths exam. So I actually probably went down a hero, a saint, the Lord and Savior Emma Nielsen, you know, the fire alarm button pusher. So then the maths exam got postponed till the next day. I had bought myself a whole extra night to study, which of course I did not, but whatever. Let me set you the scene. So we're doing like group work. Near some classrooms, they have like separate little rooms that you can like go into or whatever. So we'd always ask to go in the separate little room because we were like annoying and like the teacher hated us. So she was like, yeah, just fucking go in the room. Like, I don't even want to look at you. So we're in this room doing work, you know, whatever. It's me and my two other friends. Like, the roof was made out of tile, like floor tiles on the roof, except a bit bigger. And if you like push them, they'd push in and then you could like take them out. Like, anyway, so there was a broken one in the corner of the room, and I was like to my friends, oh my God, we should go on the roof. They were like, Emma, no, we're not going in the fucking roof. Like, are you serious? Like, no, like, what? Awful idea. And I mean, in hindsight, it was a brilliant idea. So I was like, I'm going in the roof, fuck you guys. So I like brought up the chairs, stacked them on top of each other, and pushed open another roof tile thing and climbed up into the roof. So I went into the roof. My friends are doing the work down there. I had other plans. I was fucking exploring up in the roof. And I mean, it wasn't as cool as I thought it was going to be. It was very dark and dusty and full of that fiberglass stuff. But is better than doing work. So, I was up there for a bit, did some exploring, some crawling around. So I'm up there exploring in the roof, in the literal ceiling. After a bit, I had enough and I was ready to, come on down. I need to, show you guys the layout of the room first. Hang on. I need to show you guys, a floor diagram. Okay, so just give me a minute. So this is, the desk that my friends are doing the work at. This is the hole in the roof that I was in. Little bookshelf, and that's, the entrance, door. So I'd had enough of the roof. I was climbing down. So picture this. The lower half, waist down of my body is just hanging out of the ceiling. I'm mid descent. This is when I start to hear the obnoxious jingle jangle of keys and the doorknob open. So this is, of course, the moment that my teacher decides to come on into the room. Okay, this is where the floor layout comes in. So this is the door, my teacher, she can be the red dot, is standing there. She comes in, but you see, she's standing there, but you see there's a thin bookshelf there, and then I'm in the roof, but my legs are hanging out. So if she turns, she's gonna see me dangling out of the roof, but the bookshelf's sort of covering her peripheral vision a little bit. Anyways, she walks in, she's talking to my friend. She's like, hey guys, how's the work coming along? What's going on? Where's Emma? My friends are stalling her. My friends are like, Emma, she's just filling up her, she's gone to the bathroom. She's just gone to the bathroom. If she had have pivoted, turned her head, she would have seen me waist down, actually hanging out of the roof. I didn't know, but fiberglass, that fluffy sort of stuff that's in the roof is actually quite poisonous or dangerous. I didn't know that, but I had pulled a full sheet of that down into the room because why not? About a week later, we asked if we could go into that room, and my teacher said, no, it's been closed because it's been contaminated with fiberglass poisoning, and they had to get the whole room cleaned out. That was my bad. Someone asked what my best memory of school was. Probably leaving, I'll be honest. We'll talk about my athletics carnival story time. We had our school athletics carnival. So keep in mind, it's also my birthday on the athletics carnival day, just so happened to be on my birthday. Then we get a notice saying that if you can drive, you don't have to catch the bus with the school. There's parking, you can drive there on your own. So I'm like, this is perfect. It's my birthday, I can have a nice relaxing morning, rock up an hour late, have a bit of fun, see my friends, come home, have my birthday cake. So I was kind of excited because I was okay, that's so good. I can just leave early as well. So I rock up late. Everything's all good. You're allowed to dress up in pajamas. So I am dressed full head to toe in my silk pajamas. I've got my school backpack on, my little sleep mask on my head. I look like a fool. Okay, I look stupid, but I was comfy and I was having fun. But anyway, after a bit, I was ready to leave. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like staying in an athletics carnival for 8 hours in the blazing heat. I'd sort of had enough. It's raining outside, by the way, if you can hear that. My friends had driven there as well by themselves, and they were planning on leaving early as well. So I went up to the desk super nicely and was like, hey, I'm leaving now. Do I just need to get my mum, do I just need to get my mum to call up the school and let them know that I have permission to leave or whatever? And they go, no one's allowed to leave unless their parent is here to escort them out the gate. Which is so stupid because they let us drive ourselves there. We were allowed to drive there on our own. But they expect me to make my mum drive an hour away from our house to come escort me out the gate for me to drive home by myself again. It was stupid. I understand having to get parent permission, but I'm 18 years old. I don't need my mummy to come escort me out the gate. Let's just not be ridiculous. All the gates were locked with padlocks. There were teachers standing at all the exits. It was super intense. So we're sitting on the grass, whatever, and a delivery truck pulls up. So I'm thinking, this is my chance. This is the only chance I'm gonna have to get out of this place. Otherwise I'm gonna be here for another 6 hours. No, thank you. Because the delivery truck is dropping food to the canteen. Delivering food. So I'm like, guys, they're gonna have to open the gate. But they were all no, Emma, but I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. So he unlocks the gate and he's like loading stuff into the thing. So I'm like, okay, got my little backpack on, head to toe in pajamas. Couldn't see any teachers. I was like, I'm just gonna walk out confidently. I'm strutting out of the gate. Out of nowhere, this teacher appears. She grabs my shoulder and she's like, excuse me, where do you think you're going? This is, again, my body enters fight or flight mode. I would look at her. I give her the most devious smile. And I just run. I floor it out of the gate. All right, full pajamas. I'm just running, sprinting. She's yelling at me to come back. So I'm running. My friends just watch me fucking floor it out the gate. Like, I made a full grand escape. I'm running. I can hear her yelling at me to come back, but I'm sort of like, no, Emma, don't look back, just keep going. So at this point, I'm running through the car park, sprinting through the car park, and I think I've gotten away. I turn around. This teacher, honestly, hats off to her effort, because I thought she was just going to yell at me to stop. This teacher starts chasing me, like full chasing me through the car park. I am running, like I'm fully laughing because I look back and this teacher's just running after me. I get in the car, I'm starting the ignition. I literally can't get over how funny that was because like I never got in trouble for that. My brother gets in trouble for like the most stupid shit and I literally went into the roof, escaped an athletics carnival, had a teacher have to chase me through the car park, and I never got in trouble for any of this. I don't want you guys to think that I was a complete like drop kick though, like I did nothing in school, because I actually did like weirdly well. My favorite class, like my favorite lesson would have been English, and it's like interesting because like I'm like severely dyslexic. Like my spelling is probably at the level of an 8-year-old. I'm not joking. So like to think that I was actually good at English, like I'd get 25s out of 25s, full marks. Mine was like the example one. I was terrible at maths, but like I did like subjects that I really liked. Like I did English, art, design, and I'd get like really high marks for all of those. Business, I'd like sort of like bullshit a business report. And then for maths, it was sort of like I went up until year 12 without reading an actual book. Like even the books that you had to read for English, I never used to read them. Like, do you know what I mean? So I couldn't spell, I couldn't read. Like I've sort of learnt at a young age that if I talked long enough, I could make anything right or wrong. And that's what I liked about English, because there wasn't one specific answer. Like I could twist it, and like if I had points to support it, I could bullshit my way through. You're probably wondering how I got good marks when like I couldn't spell, because you do get marked on spelling. But because I'm dyslexic, I could use voice to text. Like I could like speak and the computer would type it for me. So then I didn't have to worry about my spelling. And if I could articulate like my words well and like tick the criteria, then I'd get good marks. No one asked me about this, but I kind of want to talk about being dyslexic, because that's like that's like a big part of my life. And like my mum used to be a teacher when she was like a while ago. She got me like diagnosed with dyslexia like when I was like literally in grade 3, I think. So like which I think was so helpful. That made me just feel like I wasn't stupid. Like I sort of had a reason for not like being able to like be in like the top reading group. And it was also good because my dad is really dyslexic as well. I feel like school made me feel stupid. That's one of the other reasons I didn't like it. So like being dyslexic in school was just like exhausting. It took me longer to understand things. And I just felt stupid. Like some teachers, not all of them, I had some really nice, wonderful teachers, but some teachers did make me feel stupid. And then I sort of like resented school because I knew that I wasn't stupid. Like I know that I'm not stupid. And I think that school sort of only shows you there are so many different types of intelligence. Like so many. Someone asked me what like my relationship was with teachers. Like did they like me or whatever. It's funny, because I had a love-hate relationship with teachers. You know, some teachers loved me, and then some teachers just couldn't handle my personality. Some teachers just didn't appreciate my personality. You know, they were the type of teachers that liked the kids that sat at the back and didn't speak for the whole year. And honestly, fair enough. I sort of challenged authority and was like a bit more fun and a bit more. But most of the time, teachers and I, we fully bonded. Even this one, all right, story time. I had this teacher, she's like the head of business, all right, and everyone was scared of her because, you know, she was a bit mean. I'm gonna be honest. She was a bit mean. Literally, even the teachers were scared of this teacher. Like people were scared of her, okay? So she was like my business teacher. I had like undiagnosed ADHD at this point. And I was also dyslexic. So I did not like school, and I literally could not sit in these business classes for too long because it was the most monotoned, like we just listened to it was really quite bad. Anyway, so I'd always ask to go to the bathroom. I reckon I'd ask to go to the bathroom like once or twice a lesson. Like it was like a joke. Like she probably thought I had some bladder issues, okay? And she would be like, no. She'd always tell me no, and like I had a little bit of a rebellion where I'd just like leave and go to the bathroom, and I would get in trouble quite a bit. But I knew that this teacher hated me. Like this teacher openly hated me. It wasn't like she tried to like act like she didn't hate me. Like she genuinely despised me. But like as a joke, I was so nice to her. Like I'd be like, hi miss, like how was your weekend? You know, how's the family? You know, most people wouldn't talk to her because they were all scared shitless of her, but she already hated me. She hated me. She was like, Emma, can you just like go away? Like literally leave me alone. I was like, no, like I'd sit down on her desk and like we'd have little chats, whatever. In this one building, I had business, diploma, design. Like I had like quite a few classes in this one building, and she was like the head of all of it. So when she was no longer my teacher, I'd still see her because I had like nearly every single one of my classes in this building, and her like office is like at the end of the building, right? She would watch me arrive to all these classes like 10 minutes late and then leave for like 30 minutes in each of them to go to the bathroom. And she'd just watch me walk down the hallway, and I'd give her a wave. You know, she'd been on her phone call, like typing away, and I'd be like, hi miss. And she'd be like, Emma, like, what? You can't possibly need to go to the bathroom again. Like I literally watched you go in your last class twice, and now you're going again. Like waved to her when I was going down the hall, and she hated me. But I think by the end of it, I honestly won her over. But thank you guys so much for like having these cute little chats with me. I hope I answered some of your questions. And yeah, if you're not good at school and you don't like school, just know that you're not stupid, okay? And once you're out of school, like me, currently I'm living my best fucking life. And I'll see you guys for next video when I'm actually doing something. For those of you who are still in school right now, I'm sending my prayers, alright? I love you, my children.